Tata Group has officially taken over Air India today. The final payment for Air India has been received by the government. And in his first reaction, the Tata Sons chairperson said delighted that it's back. Tata's had set up the airlines in 1932. The government had taken control of the airlines in 1953. And so after 67 years, this is a homecoming for Air India. This is the first privatization since 2003 and 2004. Air India will be the third airline brand in the Tata Group's stable. Tata had beat the 15,100 crore offer by a consortium led by SpiceJet promoter Ajay Singh and the reserve price of 12,906 crore set by the government for the sale of its 100% stake in the loss-making carrier.
Totally delighted. We are totally delighted that this process is complete and very happy to have Air India back in the Tata Group. We look forward to working with everyone to create a world-class airline.
Well, the formalities have been completed. The Air India disinvestment transaction is closed. The shares have been transferred to the Talace, which is a successful bidder. Consideration amount has been received. And so now the new owners are the Talace of the Air India. The entire 2,700 crore has been received by the government. We have transferred the shares. Entire 15,300 crore of debt which was to be retained, that has also been accepted. So all the processes are complete. New board is just doing a meeting now. Okay. So we have handed them over. Today, just now, you know, when as we speak, they are the new owners.
All right, let's go across to Vishnu, who's been closely tracking this story. And Vishnu, so finally it's done. Air India is with the Tatas now.
I think that last statement was quite interesting, right? As we now speak, or as we now stand, the airline is with the Tata, something to that effect. And that's just absolutely historic, isn't it, Gargi? Because remember, the Tatas did start civil aviation in this country. It was Tata Airlines. JRD Tata was the pioneer of civil aviation in this country. And now after 67 years, this legacy airline, it's a legacy airline by any standard anywhere around the world, is back to the Tatas at a time when it is in distress. It's almost, I mean, it is a homecoming, but a homecoming to a parent at a time when, let's say, a child needs some assistance and needs some help. Now, what is the assistance or the help that Air India actually needs at this stage? It is losing 20 crore rupees a day at this stage. It is deeply in debt at this stage. It's got perhaps a larger number of personnel per aircraft than any other large airline in the world. It needs to be rationalized. At the same time, Air India is excellent value for anybody who chose to or would have wanted to take over the airline, in this case the Tatas. Why? It's got fabulous rights for landing across the world. For example, the number of slots that Air India operates in, let's say, Heathrow Airport in London, much more than many other, in fact, most other airlines in the world. So they've got these legacy rights on routes and slots in airports across Europe, across North America, where they can operate. Airlines sometimes have to wait years to get a single slot into one of the main airports in Europe or in North America. Air India, for example, just now in the present condition, operates 3 flights a day from Delhi alone to London Heathrow, which is just an example, a small example. But there are significant expenses which the Tatas will now need to incur, not just in terms of paying off the debt or working through the financials of what they have signed up on right now. They'll need to refurbish the aircraft of Air India. That's going to cost a lot of money. They'll need to induct new aircraft as well. They will need to start operating on new routes. They're going to have to change the internal configuration of aircraft, perhaps introduce a premium economy as well. They will have to do something to dramatically change what exactly Air India has been all about in the last several years. What has it been all about? It's been an airline which is the national carrier, but an airline which has been in deep trouble, not just financially, but also an airline which has been sinking in terms of service standards. To do that, the Tatas are going to have to spend a great deal.